video brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee. It's the best coffee branded coffee that's coffee that's branded coffee. It's coffee. It's really good coffee. You should check it out. Go to coffeebrandcoffee.com. Use promo code VETS. That's VETS VETS. Get 10% off. Coffee!
I have a knife in my foot, Sergeant.
Oh, yes. Of course. That's it. The knife. What is your name, soldier?
Spitty Riker.
No. Your name is Private Idiot. Do you know why?
Because I have a knife in my foot.
That was the wrong button. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Knife Hands. At least I got that one right. Oh, man. Happy to be here. Happy to finally be doing Knife Hands again. I know I think Venom Blade here kind of picking on me, ripping on the fact that we haven't done a Knife Hands in quite a while. And yeah, I apologize for that. It's been crazy few weeks. With getting ready to go to Vegas, being in Vegas, coming back from Vegas, feeling like absolute ass for like an entire straight week. But I'm pretty much fully recovered now, and I'm feeling I'm actually feeling pretty motivated and ready to talk about some fucked up ass politics and whether the Biden administration and the Pentagon may or may not be hiding something for some damn reason involving the Afghan withdrawal. How you doing, Big Rob? 75th Ranger retired.
What's going on, man? I'm doing well. It's crazy that it's already the end of April.
Yeah,
I heard a bunch of you guys came back just feeling like ass after the Vegas.
Everyone. We all got sick.
Post-convention blues, man.
Well, a lot of these guys, a lot of them do the Comic Cons and stuff like that. So they call it the con crud is what they call it.
Yeah.
I get that. I definitely felt like I had like just some sort of just overall crud or just something in there. But also on top of that, definitely was sick with something. I don't know if it was a cold or what. But then on top of that also was all the fucking pollen that hit mid-Missouri here was just fucking everywhere. And even though I had already preemptively started doing my nasal spray stuff, I still that pollen is still kicking my ass, even still to this day, for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like super pollen or some shit.
It's real bad here too. I just washed my truck the other day, and I came out the next day, and there was already a thick layer of yellow pollen. I was like, "Holy shit, man! Why even bother?" But it's crazy. You're breathing that shit when you go outside. It's just you don't realize how bad it actually is.
Yeah, and if you're heavily allergic to it, like I am, I get hay fever like a motherfucker. My God, I mean, thank God I finally learned. I keep, the VA gives me a spray stuff. It's just like what do they call it? It comes in a green
saline. Is it just saline spray?
Yeah, it's the generic version of the stuff that you can get in the store. I forget what it's called. Like it begins with an N, I think. But I mean, it works. So I always make sure, like every year, that they always give me more than I need. Go figure. VA just wants to fucking throw shit at you and use up tax dollars and whatnot. But yeah, I always have plenty left over the next year. So I've been learning my lesson. Get on it before the pollen starts to fall. Start taking that, and usually I'm good. But fucking A. Afrin, Yeah, I see Venom Blade. Afrin, I know I've heard of that one, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, in any case, it doesn't matter. But I mean, it works generally, but not this year though. Not totally. Still got a little bit of sniffles. Let's see. I am happy as hell to see all of y'all in here. Thank you very much for being here. I got to make sure I do knife hands. Can't do it without the sound effect. God forbid. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I know it's been a long time, so I'm happy to see people popping back in after hiatus from this show. I think people do appreciate our political conversations over here. So that being said, let me get Heath over here and talk to some of our amazing people. We got JB popped in here early. Very first one pop in. People who lied about everything lied about that too. I'm shocked, I say. Well, not all that shocked. I'm not shocked either. But the conversation is not going to be the fact that they lied. The big conversation is going to be why. I'm so confused. Why would they? What if they're covering something up? What are they covering up? Why? We'll get to it. Then also Venom Blade popping in. Oh my God, we're actually having up. Oh, almost did. Knife hands today. Yes, we are. And I'm going to circle back around Blue Cord to your super chat. Once I get through some of these chats here. Blue Cord and Venom Blade, we're having some conversations about some jibby jabs and all that good stuff. I love seeing you guys conversating while we're getting ready. Vince 505 says, howdy y'all over on the Rumble side. I think Vince is someone else here in the YouTube chat as well. Clint House, hail to you. See Vince G. What is up? Howdy y'all? 505 is in the hood. What's 505?
I don't know. Let's look. 505 area code?
Must be. Yeah, it must be an area code.
Is it someplace in Nebraska? Oh, Albuquerque.
What is Albuquerque? Motherfucking Ford. Feel late getting in. Sounds like right on time. I think we were about 2 minutes late. It's all right. I blame this guy. We were we were pulling up some interesting stuff from the protests, which are highly organized and heavily supplied, and we have suspicions as to who may be funding all that, and we will get to that maybe a little later. Want to get around to it though. Want to get around to the conversation. When we talk about the protests and shit like that, we are gonna go full on next Thursday into all this stuff. Into we think is funding and organizing all these pro-Palestine protests that's been going on around the country. So we'll get a little bit of conversation on that today, and we're going to do a full episode on that next week. And that being said, I think I said hello to everyone so far, but start things off right. Blue Cordell for 20. Says it has begun. Just saw a video of a doctor saying he was sorry for pushing the jibby jab after that report came out saying that it wasn't good news. Thank you for your wording on that. I'm still going to be careful about what I say. Thoughts? Seeing you had just had a vet on in a wheelchair. Yeah, we had Drew outstanding on. I couldn't even put in the title. I even censored the thumbnail, everything about it, because of what put him into the wheelchair was a certain thing he was forced to take while he was in the Army. And that now has him all kinds of messed up. I can't remember the complicated name.
Guillain Barrera or something like that.
Guillain Barrera.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a neurological disorder. If you guys haven't seen that one, I highly recommend go to the Rumble page, Vets Talking. You'll find me, all that good stuff. Drop the Gene, you'll find me, and you'll find it's a very unique thumbnail. You see a picture of him, and that was a good episode. We had a lot of numbers on the Rumble side. That was a good topic that a lot of people wanted to hear about, and we were only able to talk about it very briefly over here on YouTube. Then we went Rumble exclusive. And that was a very good show. The fact that there are actually doctors and people coming out admitting now that this jibby jab is not what people thought it was is pretty amazing. I think people are starting to wake up. It's scary as hell that the medical community is being so slow when you have people who took their oaths, do no harm and all that good stuff, and still they're choosing their politics or money. Who knows what the reason is to keep this cover up going. But yeah, it amazes me, man, to still see, you know, like profiles of people who are saying, oh, I'm like I've taken the jibby jab so many multiple times and I hope you do too. And all this kind of crap. Like, are you telling me you like, no one you know who's been in the same situation, taking, 5 doses of this thing? Pretty sure you know quite a few of them who have caught in the coof since then, but you still believe that you have to take it.
Yep.
I
was just talking to a buddy of mine. I know it's always buddy of a buddy. But today we were having this conversation because we were talking about what we were going to talk about in the show. And he was telling me something similar, that a friend of his or a family member, had multiple shots, boosters, or whatever. And they every time they seem to get a booster, they seem to get some strain of COVID or the coof. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't. The whole thing is just it's so mind-boggling, and can't trust anybody, trust anything. Definitely wouldn't be out there. Getting all the jibbies.
And there's the ones who will go with the stupid argument after the fact that says, okay, well, you can still catch it, but at least it keeps you from, severe side effects. And this could be from someone who's like 21 fucking years old and healthy. Like, do you not understand the science yet? You follow the science. If you're 21 and healthy, all you're going to get is a coof.
Coof.
It's been fucking 4 years. How do you not know this yet?
Ow.
Oh, God. Anyways, thank you very much, Blue Cord, for the 20. And, of course, because you started things off right.
It has begun.
Cheers to you, brother. Thank you very much. Play.
Oh, yeah.
Comments. For those of you who don't know, if you are new here, all of our live streams, we always play our drinking game rules. Any single super chat, we do a social. Take a little sip of whatever beverage we're drinking. $20 or more, and we do shots. We appreciate Blue Cord and so many others to drop so many donations. You guys are keeping greatly appreciate it. And what I'm learning about a few different things about what I can do with the Stream Deck. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be investing in a second one here pretty soon because I'm learning there's some pretty cool shit that I want to be able to have 2 Stream Decks going at the same time. One I can do my sound effects, and the other one I can do all kinds of other shit. I'm always looking to expand and try to improve the quality of these shows as much as possible whenever I can. That lot popping in $5, much appreciated. Says, what is this crazy title? Our government wouldn't lie to our government wouldn't lie to us. And for the not sarcasm portion of the super chat, chug up, fellas. Thank you very much. Chug, IRR tard. I can talk. I say words. I appreciate that, Vatlaw. Thank you very much. Let's see. Do I have anyone else pop in here? Yeah, Bubba motherfucking board. Vince G. Never took the jab. Being old fart and retired. The only one wanting me to get it was my doctor. I told her nope, don't want it, don't need it. I know the VA, man. VA kept on fucking pushing that shit so fucking much.
Yeah, I think even my last visit, they asked about it. If it was more of a request, would you like a whatever? And I was like, nah, good. Move along. Carry on.
Yeah. I've said this many times. This area in central Missouri is so fucking based. Like, you can tell, like, they just stopped asking really fucking quick. And even when it comes to some of these ridiculous questions, you can tell these, because there's always that portion when you're talking to the nurse before you see your doctor, they have to go through a list of stupid fucking questions. At one point, there was still a time when the VA was requiring them to even ask men if they were pregnant. I go, are you serious? And she's like, and she being obviously based as well, goes, they make us have to ask now.
That's crazy.
Gotta be serious. The fucking VA is forcing them to ask men if they're pregnant or believe they may be pregnant.
You can't assume nowadays, man.
This fucking world, man. They stopped though. They stopped. Yeah, the next time I went in, they did not ask that question anymore. I don't know if that's the entire VA or at least in this area. They're like, no, we're not asking our people that anymore.
I honestly think that the pendulum's kind of swinging, man. I think more and more people are getting tired of it. People are getting tired of the just the absurdity of some of these conversations. Before it was just like, okay, you know, I don't really care about those conversations, but now it's so in everybody's face that you know, the people who normally ignore this shit are like finally at their at their limit.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, people are getting tired of it, man. Even the people who, like, you look at what just happened. I think it might have been yesterday when Trump, who he's stuck in New York for this bullshit fucking trial. So what's he doing? He's going out campaign all around New York, and he showed up at a job site. Massive crowd, hundreds of people, fucking union members tend to be very democratic. They were out there in droves. They were out there in the hundreds, and news going around talking to these people, and they're all like, "Yeah, we love Trump. I mean, you know, he was New Yorker through and through, all that thick New York accent." And the reporter, I think this was from Newsmax, was the one interviewing, saying like, but now the union tends to be lean to the left and be Democratic, and every single one like, yeah, no, I've always voted Democrat, but I'm voting for Trump this time. Fuck Joe Biden. One of them actually said that they had to censor, fuck Joe Biden. We trust Trump. We know Trump. There's one dude on there who said he's been a lifelong Democrat his entire life. Actually, he was like the union leader. And he's like, I know Trump. I met him way back when he was, doing this here in New York. And I saw him today, and he even recognized me. And you better believe I trust that man over any of these fucking swamp rats out in fucking D.C. And I'm telling you, man, you watch these other scenes. Some of this stuff I meant to pull up. I was going to show in another. I was going to actually do it on last week's show. And you know, when he went into the bodega.
Oh yeah.
Or a fast food restaurant also, and he's surrounded by black people, and they love him. They love him. These are surprise appearances. He's just showing up randomly. This isn't like, hey, come to Trump's rally. No, he's randomly going to places, and a crowd shows up, and everyone is there just loving on him. You know, that one scene with the black girl. I mean, you just like, she's got that freaking like hood accent. I don't mean that to be derogatory or anything like that, but she's just like, and she's like, you don't believe any of this stuff that news is saying. We love you, Trump. We love Trump. Yeah, Trump 2024. Yeah, dude, they actually love this man. And I'm telling you, the amount of time he's gonna be stuck in New York, I know it's a long shot, but he might win New York. When you see all this, it's a possibility.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, he was an icon of the city. I mean, he was New York. New York was Trump, and Trump was New York. Absolutely. And it's funny, just a few years later, it's like, you know, like what happened? Yeah, he's just demonized. It's so stupid. Like I just saw a video today. There were some interview was going around talking to like construction workers or something. Do you see this? It's kind of trending. But an interviewer, the news guy, asking some construction worker, you know, what do you think about Trump or whatever? He's like, oh, you know, we'll get Trump again in 4 more years or whatever. And then he asked the guy, he's like, hey, what do you think about Joe Biden? Do you have anything to say to Joe Biden? He's like, go fuck yourself. And I was like, oh, shit. But total New York style accent. And I was like, oh, man, these people do like it, man. They do love him there.
Yeah, that's so fucking great, man. Yeah, I know. Like obviously we do know the reality of what New York is, how blue they are. There's so many of these fucking but the blue collar fucking people though, like they still do love him. Yeah, Home Alone lost in New York. It's funny. I heard some streaming service, I think, cut that scene of Trump out of Home Alone 2. I wonder there's no way they can legally do that. I mean, if a streaming service did, like, they would have to get permission, I would think, from whatever the company was that made that movie. You can't alter the movie in some way unless you get permission. Anyways, fuck them. People with true common sense, they love him. They know what that dude's all about. Just like this man does. This is a very, very true and common sense. King's advisor for 499. I know it's a serious topic, but I did hear some news that Big Rob sits when he sees.
Never fails, man.
I
Never
hear this
fails.
is true. Thank you very much, for King's advisor. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't have a button for sitting when you pee.
You gotta find one.
I'll find something. All right, let's get to Blue Cordell's next super chat there. Appreciate you, man. I really got to rearrange my setup here. This is very.
You need like a little bar area for your drinks and your glasses. Yeah.
You know, I mean, the game console here is my bars, obviously, and I do have random bottles all over the place here. All of them have some kind of meaning one way or another. It's obviously not a real bar. Maybe I should do that though. Maybe I should just pour my shots right here on this. Because what I'm doing here, I'm navigating around
that thing. Yeah, I don't know how much you've played it, but I think you probably used it more as a shelf than anything else.
You're not wrong. I mean, I have played. I have beaten the X-Men game. There are 2 other games on here I got to get through. What's really cool is that because this is a modern setup, the one-up console, I can actually play online with other people.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
The X-Men. Yeah, the X-Men game plays up to 4 people. That's why there's 4 different things on here, and you can connect with other people on there. I got to experiment with that sometime.
That's cool.
It's a fun game by itself, but it's a lot better when you're playing with other people, especially since you just die constantly when you're by yourself. All right. Blue Cordell for 20. Thank you, bro. Says my sister, who is a nurse, and God, you guys are really trying to get my fucking channel shut down with all this jab talk tonight, aren't you? It's all right though. Well, I think we're being pretty safe with our wording. My sister, who is a nurse and pushed for the jab on my parents and my sons, hasn't said she is sorry to me yet. My sons live with my parents to help take care of my dad. He had a stroke. I'm sorry to hear that. I worry about their health. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I guess, it's still yet to be said. I have heard even people on our side of the aisle saying that for people who are at risk, like the elderly and people who are sick, that the jab, which is not an actual, vaccine, can reduce symptoms. Whether or not that's true. So, I guess the thing is, like, maybe it is okay for like old people, but you're still at risk for the side effects of what the jab has been doing to people nonetheless. So I don't know. Science will come out at some point.
Yeah. The problem is they lied throughout this process or did whatever they did to kind of skirt around what they actually knew at the time. So like at this point, what do you believe? What don't you believe?
Right.
Just talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor. That's the most important thing. Don't listen to people on the internet.
I trust my doctor here. I think she, like we were saying, like she was forced to have to recommend the jab to us. She never said shit about it after. I think she's pretty based herself. But I think I told a story before too, that I was going in for a reevaluation of my disability rating, and I had a doctor who I know straight up fucking lied to me, making a claim that she knew somebody who was healthy and in my age range and had already had COVID and still died from COVID. Shit. I said bad words. I gotta be careful what I'm saying.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah. But yeah, no, what? And I fucking just stared her down after I didn't want to say anything because like this is somebody who's holding my fucking disability rating in her control. But I just like looked at her like, I don't believe you. And I saw this like uncomfortable glance that she looked at me and then looked away. Like, I know you're lying to me. Yeah. And I know, and that should be medical malpractice. She is giving me incorrect. She's lying to me about medical advice. That's medical malpractice. If I'm not mistaken. And, you know, like I said, if it weren't for the fact that, you know, she was in control of my disability rating, I was so tempted to call her out on that and, you know, report her. But, oh God, these fucking people though.
Yeah. Now they're holding that disability rating hostage, man. You just gotta smile and play nice. Do whatever she tells you.
Man,
unfortunately,
the fucking rating system is so jacked up, man.
Oh yeah,
I got a 10% increase, and that was it. After like so many things, like, you know, this headache, my knee problems, back, and all kinds of other shit. I had an increase like across the board, and all of it accumulated in this weird system to a 10% increase.
Yeah, it's not straightforward math. It's some weird VA calculation formulas. Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid.
It makes no fucking sense. But thank you very much. Since we're talking about jabs, let's talk about barbs going into Dermy's face.
There you go. That's the stuff. I like the intensity. Eye of the tiger. Good. You're holding 50,000 volts, little man. Don't be afraid to ride the lightning.
Stop! No! In the face! In the face!
In the face! Thank you, Blue Cord. All right, quick little shameless plug for the vet stock and merch. I've actually had a few people now buying the Make the Army Great Again hat. I am a big fan of this. Just like Make America Great Again, but Make the Army Great Again. Can't wait for somebody to actually ask me about that, who's like completely ignorant. I'll be like, have you seen the fucking cartoon fucking recruiting ad about a girl saying her inspiration to join the army was because of her two moms? She wanted to fight for social justice. Make the fucking army great again. They're a bunch of fucking bitches right now.
I don't think they'll ever live that one down. That was like two years ago, wasn't it?
I will never fucking forget that. I will never forget that. I'll never. Yeah, fucking Steven Crowder showed that ad and then showed the Chinese and Russian ads right after that in comparison. Yeah, make us look like fucking bitches.
Mm-hmm.
But as well, also we got the other vets talking merch. I got this one on the back, says the force is fucked. Now shirt that Gary Beekler, Nerdrotic, is a big fan of. He even wore it for his very first Friday night tights coming back from Vegas. I think that show's been seen like 200,000 times now. I gave him that shirt. He wore it, and I gave him a shout out. I actually DM'd them and asked, hey, is it okay if I do this? Giving him flowers, just, it's me saying thank you for wearing it and also pimping my merch. They said that it was okay. I put it out on Twitter and on Instagram. I tagged them in it. I didn't expect anything, but they put it into Nerdrotic's mentions on their story on there. What it was is a frame of my shot of my Instagram post playing music over which, and also had this animation saying click on this, and that was playing for like 24 hours in their Instagram story. I got a fucking notification. My Instagram is not big, but I got a notification for my first ever post that hit 50 likes. I've got tons of new followers over there, and the fucking I've had a few purchases, but at least a lot of people have looked at the store. So a lot of people are clicking on that link, and it's awesome, man. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to Gary and Mrs. Nerdrotic out there for helping make that happen. I wasn't expecting to do anything like that, but that was amazing. Dude, Blue Core's wearing the same shirt that I have on right now. It's fucking awesome, dude. I know that, Blue Cord bought a bunch of stuff. I still owe you a shirt, though. Or if you've already got all the shirts that you want, I'll get you a hat or whatever, because, we're still doing anyone who is in the You Went Full Retard membership for 2 months or more. And I was going to get them a shirt. He fucking jumped the gun on me, said he wants me to present him his shirt when we see each other in person. Let me know at some point, though, dude. Let me know what product it is you want, and I will have one. I will have it shipped out here. And whenever you end up coming out here, if you're going to come out for the meetup, which we're doing in fall, Chrissy Mayer is going to be here, going to be doing a comedy show. We're going to do our first annual Midwest FNT / Vets Talking / whatever fucking meetup. And that's all, dude. And fucking Venom Blade's got his on too. That's awesome, man. I fucking love it. I know that Alec Baldwin's finger, after seeing the ads about with Gary and everything, he went and bought a shirt. He got the mug and everything. So yeah, thank you guys very much. For anyone who's on the YouTube, you can click on the link that's up there, the pinned link up there. It's at the top. It's multiple different locations. You can go into the shop, and we've got all the different types of merch in there. And we're still working on ideas. I still want this idea. What I want is to have some sort of an image, something that any veteran can look at and will say, that's fucking cool. I want something original. So if anyone's got some ideas on something like that, fucking DM me, Vets Talking on Twitter or whatever else if you got an idea. But yeah, I think this is something I think people can get, at least in the Army. I'm sure that like Navy guys aren't going to want this. I wish I could have done like, make the military great again, but MAGA doesn't sound as good as MAGA. So yeah. Man, Blue Cord, thank you so much, man. I really you really are like the fucking king of keeping the lights on around here, dude. Thank you so much. Let me pour another shot here. And get back over here, Blue Cordell, for the $20 and for buying my merchandise. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate that. Actually, my buddy Mike, Old Man Mike, who's been on here before, he bought a Vets Talking hat, which one just simply says Vets Talking on top. And he's actually been approached a few times just because of the veteran thing. And somebody wants to say, hey, are you a veteran? And he's able to say, why, yes, I am. And this is my friend's channel. You should check it out. Like, that's fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
All right. And for the $20, we're going to beat up on Dermy.
Hey, help me, please.
Stupid holy. Whoa!
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Take that.
You got him. You got him. Enough.
Are you okay?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
I'll be right back. Hey, come here.
No. I think he's out enough.
Thank you very much. Blue Cord.
That gets me every time.
That law says he should be on month 2 of the You Want Full Retard. I haven't checked in a while. I didn't realize that. I will. I got to get better about going back and checking out updates on kind of stuff. So absolutely, dude. When we hit that, I will contact you and we'll exchange information on me being able to get one out to you. Much appreciated that, dude. Let's see. Oh, let me wash that down. All right, so to the main topic of the night. I think everyone's familiar with the debacle that was the Afghanistan withdrawal, when they could have kept what was the military air base?
HKIA. It's the Hamid Karzai International Airport. Everybody just called it HKIA.
You're talking about the one that they did fly out of, but I'm talking about the one that they abandoned.
Bagram.
Bagram.
That was BAF.
So Bagram Air Base, which was highly protected.
That was a massive base, man.
Massive base, very easily defendable, surrounded by mountainsides, all this kind of good stuff. An amazing, tactically sound position that you could have kept and could have flown people out of safely, but instead they abandoned that, left behind all this fucking weaponry and technology and vehicles and all that kind of shit for the fucking Taliban to just take and fucking get videos of them running on our fucking ellipticals and shit and all that fucking stupid shit. And then they make everyone have to go right in the middle of the fucking city is where this airfield is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And have to go out there, and sure enough, what happens? 13 service members killed, 11 Marines, 1 sailor, and 1 Army soldier, who, by the way, is a psychological operations soldier, who I've never met, but was in my former unit. That sucked. That really hurt. And to this day, they claimed that there was in fact, let me pull up the report. I've got this report ready to go. They claim that the only assault was the explosion. There was no secondary assault. In this first report that came out, contrary to first reports, it was not a complex attack. Complex attack meaning multiple different avenues. Like when you have an IED attack, you are always prepared. If an IED goes off, you're always prepared for a secondary assault, meaning you will be now shot at by small arms fire, or who knows, maybe they got a fucking Dishka or some shit like that too. But it was the IED is typically not the only thing. So when it's a complex attack, means there's boom and then there's gunfire. They're saying that here that there was reports that there was gunfire afterwards. Well, they're saying no, this was not a complex attack. The investigation found that a single explosive device killed at least 170 civilians, 13 U.S. service members, and explosively directing ball bearings through a packed crowd into our men and women at Abbey Gate. You might hear Abbey Gate a few times in the conversation. That is the gate where the assault happened. The investigation found no definitive proof that anyone was ever hit or killed by gunfire, either U.S. or Afghan. This conclusion was based upon careful consideration of sworn testimony of more than 100 eyewitnesses, and especially those witnesses and observation towers, both American and British, who were in locations unaffected by the blast and that had commanding views of the scene before, during, and after the explosive attack. So when you read that, says, wow, well, that sounds pretty damn conclusive. I mean, they interviewed all these people, so that must mean that, shoot, what else can he say about that? That's that. And also, as of, I believe this is 2 weeks ago, let me get the other one pulled up here, because guess what? Not everyone believed that. They came out with an updated report. Kabul Airport attack review reaffirms initial findings, identifies attacker. I'm not going to read into this, but it just basically says after a couple of years, because what was the first one?
So what happened was the first one that you pulled up, that first report was done
in 2022,
February 2022. Yep. And then what happened is they had last year, they had all of the service members that were part of the event on Capitol Hill, and they all gave their testimony. The most famous one was Sergeant Vargas, I think, Tyler Vargas, and it was the most moving and emotional one because he was one of the guys that survived, and his testimony, along with others, gave testimony contrary to what these reports were saying. And, you either believe the guy that was on the ground going through all this stuff, or you believe, the members of a committee of a 15-6 investigation. And that's kind of where I started getting curious about this whole thing, man. It's just once they did their thing that they did up in Capitol Hill, there was new evidence provided by their testimony. So they did another supplemental investigation, which is the second one that you're bringing up, which was done earlier this month. So it's frustrating because it's like, who are you going to believe? The veterans that were giving their testimony and kind of pouring their hearts out on Capitol Hill, and immediately after the event, or the 15-6 committee.
And so 2 weeks ago is when that other report came out, the second report saying, we confirmed, yep, there was no secondary gunfire or secondary assault or anything like that. 2 weeks later, CNN of all, which I never trust CNN, but sometimes there are actual investigations that they do there. This video popped. What was it, yesterday or today?
It was yesterday.
This from CNN. Watch U.S. Marines GoPro footage that challenges Pentagon's account of attack at Kabul Airport. So and I guess I should feel obligated to say I am going to play this. I think it doesn't. It cuts out right at the end when they're hauling a body off. So this will be YouTube friendly, but also going to say if anybody doesn't want to see this, just be warned. It's going to show a lot of combat shit. What were we going to say?
Oh, just to kind of set this up, out of the report. They said that the number of small arms fire that they heard was very small. So I think they said there was a couple of events or a couple of bursts of small arms fire. So it was like from the British observation post and from the American observation, and that was it. It was just like a small number of gunshots, which contradicted what the guys were saying, that they heard, like actual gunfire, like a normal tick going on, like a engagement. So with this video,
contradicted what these guys have been saying.
Yeah.
But now, so I'm gonna say this before we watch this. Guaranteed, this is not the only video of the event. I guarantee it. This investigation has already gone through other video. I fucking guarantee it. So we're going to play this now, and the question is going to be asked. I want people to think about this as we're watching this. How did these investigators do this investigation? Likely saw video, because there's security cameras. Guaranteed there's security cameras, all kinds of shit. So how were they able to see and hear the same thing and then come out and say there was no secondary assault?
Are you guys in the right state of mind? Let's go.
These are fragments of a video not fully seen in public before that reveal brutal facts long denied by the US military. Let's go back to the horrific dusk of August 26th, 2021. An ISIS bomb outside Kabul Airport tears through a packed crowd.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead
Afghans and 13 American military.
They do go into giving the background. Here's
by gunfire.
Yeah, here's a general.
But this new video, which begins outside the airport's Abbey gate entrance, reveals much more shooting.
So,
after
pause
the
real quick.
blast.
Yep.
So in this report, again, you can take CNN's word or whatever, but they hired like a professional sound guy that went in and listened for all of the gunfire that he heard, in that, along with just kind of what you're going to hear, blatantly contradicts what the reports that the Pentagon put out.
Yep.
But that's kind of what he's setting up here.
Right.
Than the Pentagon said. Combined with new accounts to CNN of Marines opening fire and gunshot injuries in Afghan civilians, it challenges the rigor and reliability of the two Pentagon investigations that declared no Afghan civilians were shot dead in the chaotic aftermath. The bomb detonates. The footage then stops and picks up 3 seconds later.
You good? You good? Right here. Right here. All right. Hey. I got down. They're breaking through. Is that all right, guys? Hey. Get out. We're doing security.
Many Marines here were young, some on their first deployment. The gunfire starts. They run for cover.
See, now that right there, I heard two distinctly separate shots. I mean, the first one and the second one, they were definitely either different distances or different calibers.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's this video or the one I saw on Twitter, but there's an actual guy that has like a counter up, and every time he hears gunfire, it's like another tick, another tick.
They do that here.
Oh, okay.
No, they're gonna do this on this one. They'll have a ticker on here. They'll show separate incidences, which means every single time there's a new group of firing, and then it'll also be a counter of how many gunshots you're hearing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we don't know. I guess we don't know exactly like how much fire that either Americans or British troops fired. Obviously, the government, the Pentagon, is trying to claim that any gunfire that was fired was either from U.S. or British guns, which still makes no fucking sense. Like I said, even just that in that one. Let me back up here just a little bit. Let's see if I can get back here. You'll hear the two separately, like very distinctly, either two different types of calibers or different distances.
This long burst is about 17 shots, bringing us a total of 20.
Hold on, let me back up 10 seconds.
Run for cover.
You hear that grouping. There's overlapping gunfire at that point.
Yeah.
In any case, I'll just keep on playing through.
Burst is about 17.
I've only watched this once, so me trying to actually analyze this, like, oh yeah, you can clearly break this. Like, I don't remember exactly what I heard when I first watched this after Rob sent it to me. So don't fucking think I'm some super fucking analyst of this.
Shots, bringing us a total of 20.
There we go.
Tallying
I get the
shots
counter.
fired and episodes of fire based on 2 forensic analyses on screen.
What's up, Mr. Reese? Boat Metallicus.
You cannot see who is still firing here, and we never see Marines or anyone firing in this video. Short, controlled bursts in isolation.
This bugs me because it really looks like this guy is trying to get the camera on himself. Like, she's fucking. So they're gonna say like he got hit with CS gas, and that's what's bothering him. Like, I don't know why no one else is having the problem that he is, but also it looks like he's fucking trying to film himself. That just bugs me. Anyways, move on.
The CS gas canister has exploded in the blast, its gas choking this Marine. And in a moment, the total episodes of gunfire you've heard will start being more than the 3 the Pentagon has said happened.
Fourth episode.
The gunfire.
But he's
continues.
filming himself. Come on, dude.
We leap forward 27 seconds as Afghans, arms raised, run into the airport.
No, it's just smoke and dirt, bro.
One burst, now another.
Is that the TV, bro?
They wonder if the Taliban, the TB, is shooting. 2 Marines told us they saw the Taliban just after the blast, looking as shocked as they were.
Oh. Oh. Come here. You good? Yeah. I'm fine.
I'm sorry. I gotta nitpick at this fucking guy, but he's worried about fucking filming himself, and you can see he's worried about his damn sunglasses the whole damn time. Like, dude, fucking do your damn job.
Dude, I do wonder, like, you know, if you're overseas in a situation like this, when you're hearing gunfire, I mean, you're like amped up, and it's hard to tell like where it's coming from. I think that's why they're trying to figure out if it was coming from the American and British side. But I would assume that after all of the sworn testimony, sworn statements, and forensic, you know, investigation, that like, yeah, that was just us. Like, yeah, I fired the guy in the OP fired, you know, a full box of ammo. Yeah, that was totally me. Like, that was easy to figure out.
Yeah.
And if you're saying there was only 20 shots and it was only 2 episodes or 3 episodes, and you can easily discredit or confirm or deny that, you know, your observation posts were dumping mags or dumping a box, like that just seems like it would be an easy thing to kind of figure out, and they didn't in either report, and it more in line matches what the testimony was.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. You'll know who. I mean, people will show up like, yeah, hey, I fucking fired. You know, I saw a dude or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like, did you guys ever? We never had to do inventory on like our mags or anything. Like, if you were low on ammo, you went to your supply. You just reload your shit. I don't know. In your case, like, was there ever like accountability in the Rangers? Like was there an ammo count or anything like that to see who fired what or what?
Not really. No. I mean, like in training, you would, you know, you got like your squad leader, team leaders troop the line to do an ammo counter, mag count or whatever, but not in real life, man. Like when you're dumping mags, you're dropping mags, loading the next one, engaging. And then you assess whether you're black on ammo or not, but not like, oh, I've got 2 mags. I fired, you know, half a mag of this one. Like, then that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like, it's not even a term like a tactical check. Because I mean, we would like, there is like, hey, what would got like, you know, if somebody's really low, then hey, this person's got more, so you throw a mag over here. Like that's like in the midst of battle. But I'm talking about like after. Like when everyone's back at base and you're doing shit, like there's no like count of like who fired what or anything. There's no official fucking checking of anything. So
not of the specific like rounds or whatever. If you were involved in an incident where there was an engagement and there was loss of life on either side or whatever, there's usually like a sworn statement that goes along with it. And so if you're writing a sworn statement, like, hey, who fired their gun on this mission? All right, you fired your gun, fill out the sworn statement just from your perspective, and then you'll get like a decent idea. Yeah, I was on the north side of the objective, and I loaded 1.5 mags or whatever. Like that kind of stuff would be in a sworn statement usually, but not always, because it just depended on the situation. If everybody's dumping mags and no one was hurt, no one was hit or whatever, then it's just like, nobody cares.
In this case, when there's this much fire going on, I mean, like we're not even halfway through yet. You'll see there's so many gunshots, so many episodes of fucking fire being like, okay. One theory that can be thrown out there is maybe this was all friendly fire. Maybe Marines and British troops fired into the fucking crowd, and maybe that's what they're covering up. But that's still so fucking unlikely, because there's so many episodes. You'll see the episode goes over a dozen. Why would and it's just not continuous fire or anything? Why in 5 minutes would a fucking Marine be up there? At 5 minutes later, somebody will be like, all of a sudden just randomly started shooting into the fucking crowd. It makes no fucking sense. Anyways, we'll keep on going, and we'll analyze as we go. And by the way, I know I was picking on this guy, whole fucking like it bugs me, okay? It bugs me. Marine, why are you filming yourself, and why are you so worried about your damn sunglasses and when there's a fucking firefight going on? Sorry.
Hey, where's I need accountability. We're pushing them back there for sort. Any casualties, we're pushing
More
back.
shots.
Get down. Hey,
You heard that? Did you hear the little clack clack?
Marines we spoke to.
I don't know if you heard that, but there was like 2 or 3 rounds, like clack clack, right there.
Oh yeah.
So that sounds like far away fire coming in.
Yeah, much further away
Again,
than
I'm not
the other
a
shots we were
forensic analyst or anything like that, but I mean, we've all been overseas. You know what it sounds like when someone from distance is shooting at you.
Dude, we're here. I mean, you can hear there's so many different variations of sounds of the gunfire.
Yeah.
So we're either talking different distances, different calibers, something. This is so much more complicated than what the fucking report is coming out claiming. What's up, Bear Paws? Says, when I watched this video or what we even had a chance to see and hear made me sick. I never thought I'd be ashamed of my country. What a shit show. And for 0 reasons for it to go down like this, dude. Yeah. I know this government is fucked, man. I still love my country, and I think you should too, but for the same reason, like when we say fuck China, we're not talking about the Chinese people. We're saying we're talking about the Communist Chinese Party. Same thing here. I'm never gonna say fuck America. I love this country, but the people running it are they're the insane. They're the patients in the insane asylum. They're running the fucking show right now. All right,
Get down. Are you good? Hey,
Multiple Marines we spoke to who were there said they felt they were under fire. But the Pentagon has insisted for 2 years no militant gunmen opened fire here. They've said the only shots fired here were 2 bursts by US Marines and 1 from UK troops.
By the way, I love that I'm seeing these battle belts with these quick draw pouches over here on the left side. This is the setup that I have for my own personal gear that I bought. I love that the military is doing this now, man. It's so fucking high speed. I mean, especially compared to back, like, in the early 2000s. Like, I mean, we were so basic, bitch, going back to like the old school, like all the way back to the fucking Vietnam era shit. And now we finally get to a point where we can actually fucking respond in a quick manner when it comes like reloading and everything. Good shit. Just had to point that out.
In a big burst from a nearby tower, all bursts near simultaneous. So, according to their investigations, we must be hearing Marines or the British firing here. More controlled shots.
That's a heavy caliber, would you not say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That was a heavy fucking caliber.
Jump forwards, another.
Let me bring that back.
Here. More.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but
that sounds like
a 50 or something.
Yeah.
Controlled shots, Marines, all the British firing here.
Yeah, that sounds like someone's on a fucking mod deuce and just let 3 rounds go. Yeah, even Pope is saying that sounds like 50. Yeah, everyone's saying that sounds like 50.
More controlled shots, jump forwards another 39 seconds and more shots.
And then, and there's those little fucking pink pings that you were saying, like at the fucking distance again.
Yeah.
39 seconds and more shots.
What's crazy is it sounds like it's coming from the left. I mean, it's hard to tell in the video, but it's either coming from the left, then the right, and the left and right.
15 seconds later, more shooting.
Yeah, well, okay, I was saying like that sounds like a little, but yeah, that sounds like it could also be a the rate of fire sounds like it could also be a 50, but from a different distance.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys good? Hey, look at me. Are you guys in the right state of mind? Let's go.
They head out into the chaos to help. You've just seen and heard at least 43 shots fired in at least 11 episodes of shooting. It matters, as it is just short of 4 minutes of sporadic fire, most of which the Pentagon has said for 2 years did not happen. And that shows their narrative of this horrific and disputed event is wrong.
All right, so after this,
what's really crazy too, real quick, is this video got released yesterday, and I think they reached out. CNN reached out for comment to the Pentagon. They've had this video,
right?
So this isn't like a new video. This is something that they've had in their investigative materials. So if they had this, then why are they still putting out the conflicting information? Like, you can clearly say it was more than 3 episodes or 2 episodes or whatever of small bursts.
So funny you should ask. I found an article. And this is actually in the Air Force Times, which I've already put it out here before. I don't trust the Air Force Times, Military Times, Army Times. They're all basically CNN, MSNBC, left-wing propaganda for the government. However, this one, okay, I'm not going to get into it, but Pentagon disputes report of firing a firefight following Abbey Gate bombing. Really, what this should be saying is after the fucking CNN report came out is what it should read, but it doesn't for some reason. Military officials will dispute allegations that they withheld details about additional attacks on U.S. forces following the deadly August 2021 bombing in Afghanistan, and insisting that that the tragedy was the result of a lone insurgent, not a coordinated assault. The pushback comes in response to a CNN report released Wednesday. Bull fucking shit. Okay, I didn't think about this earlier. No, bullshit. There's a reason why I had to put a second fucking report out, because pushback's been coming back from just like what Rob was saying. There's fucking sworn testimony. People have been saying, no, motherfucker, we were getting shot at. Fucking civilians were getting shot. But this fucking Air Force Times, the fucking left-wing propaganda for our fucking military, is saying the pushback comes in response to the CNN report. Fuck you, Air Force Times.
Well, it's not just Air Force Times. The Air Force Times, Marine Times, Army Times, all come from Military Times, which Leo Shane, I don't think Leo Shane's like an Associated Press guy. I think he actually works for Military Times, but I mean, most of their stories are just regurgitated Associated Press, New York Times, LA Times, Bloomberg. So I never trust. I never trust their reporting.
They're Pravda. They're Pravda for the fucking military. So anyways, that claim. So them saying right there, it comes in response to the CNN report. Is their fucking propaganda claim to try to completely dismiss the fact that for years, ever since it's happened, that there's been who knows how many numbers of people who've been out there saying no, there was gunfire. After that, this was a complex assault. I'll move on, which appears to show multiple rounds of gunfire following the explosion in the Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul. The attack killed 13, blah, 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 blah. In a newly released video from the network, okay, we just watched that, so I'm looking to get to their response. Review says Abbey Gate bombing wasn't preventable. It was preventable if you would have just gone through the fucking other airfield from the military base that was secure.
Did you ever get a chance? Were you in Afghanistan or Iraq?
My tours were only in Iraq. They wanted to send me for a third one. I was like, please, for the love of God, can I go to Afghanistan instead? Just for something different.
Yeah, that HKI was it was a very small airfield. It was a very small airport, and it ran east and west, if I remember right. And on the north side, on the top side, was like the military side. It was the U.S., like all the U.S. military. That's where our camp was. And then on the south side, or on the north side, that's where we had. I forgot, was it Bravo Gate and then Abbey Gate was on the south side, so on the civilian side. But if you were to leave Abbey Gate, you were like in the heart of Kabul, and it was a fucking busy city. And I have no idea. It was a nightmare to get out of there, especially if you went through Abbey Gate and had to drive through town, because we had to do that a couple of times. And I have no idea why you would consolidate an entire military force to this tiny little ass airfield for, like a redeployment back to the States. It just blows my mind. And I'm not like a strategic, expert or anything, but fuck, no, BAF was huge and defended. HKI was tiny and risky.
You don't have to be an expert. I mean, it's common fucking sense when you look at the differences in when you take everything into consideration, the security. I mean, anyone can look at the simple aspect, like you're saying, a gate that is exposed to the most busy city in the fucking country, and you're saying that is where you decided that we're going to run this massive evacuation from. You don't have to be an expert in strategy to understand that's stupid. But really, okay, I forget where it is in here. At some point, they do say that the military wanted to see this video and CNN wouldn't. And so basically, the government is trying to claim that it's like this is wrong for CNN to withhold this from it. No, because we know that you were gonna fucking lie. You've been lying for 2 fucking years. So they're right. CNN is doing something right in wanting to expose and actually show people for their own fucking eyes to see what really happened instead of hearing your fucking lies.
Yeah.
So why? Why would they lie about this? Why would they even, like we're talking about, be so dumb? Is it ignorance or is it intentional? And if it's, this is conspiracy theory time, right? I know I'm getting there. I'm getting there. If you want to put your tinfoil hat on, was there something else going on? Because how can our military leaders, even if we're talking about these fucking ultra leftists who we know are psychopaths, at least these people were smart enough to make it so long in the damn military to get to where they were. They can't be complete fucking morons. I know that General Milley, as dumb as he is for saying he wants to study white rage, is not an actual fucking moron. The guy knows combat. The guy led the operations. If you watch 12 Strong, which is the movie about the ODA, the Special Forces ODA that went into Afghanistan immediately after Iraq. I mean, after 9/11. General Mill. No, not that wasn't him. That was my former commanding general. Anyways, all right. Retract, rewind, Control-Delete. My brain fucking glitched out. Nonetheless, General Milley is not a fucking dumb guy. I think he was corrupted. I think that he was forced to do what he was doing. Why? Why did we abandon Bagram? Bagram, right?
Yeah, BAF.
Yeah, why did we abandon Bagram? Why did we opt instead for this undefensible, relatively undefensible fucking base? Why did we opt for Abbey Gate, like you're saying, to be the location where we're going to do all this shit? Why do we basically set up the parameters for this assault to happen, for people to die, and then very obviously have a secondary assault with small arms? I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a fucking dish guy out there. And why are we covering that up?
Yeah. What's crazy is like HKIA, we had been in HKIA for a long time. Abbey Gate and the North Gate. We for years, for as long as we had been there, we had been guarding and operating those bases without major issue. I mean, there's been some incidents here and there, but in this report, and I think the official messaging, it was like there was no way to avoid this. This was like unavoidable. There was no like tactical thing we could have done to prevent it. It was like, and what gets me is like, well, we did for 20 years. We prevented it for 20 years, and just now, like,
good point.
You know, so
yeah.
That I don't believe. But you had said something that does make me think a more conspiracy hat was, you know, maybe, and I don't know, we could be completely wrong, but I tend to believe the guy on the ground. You know, the Marines that, like Sergeant Vargas, who testified, and the rest of those guys that testified. I've been there, what they've gone through, and I mean, if they're saying what they're saying, and the guy lost a freaking arm, and I think I don't know if he lost his leg too, but I mean, like, he was adamant about his testimony and truthful and open, and I tend to believe those guys than bureaucrats and officers and JAG guys that are doing the 15-6. You know, right. but what if this is more conspiracy and more dangerous line of thinking was all those gunshots that you heard, that they were from American side or British side, and maybe they were into the crowd, and maybe that's what they're trying to cover up, and that's why it went down like this. That's even worse. You know,
well, and that's what I was alluding to earlier. That's what I was alluding to earlier. Like, maybe it's possible that it was a massive fuck up on the sides of our troops and the British troops who were freaking out and just shot into the crowd. But that doesn't add up for 5 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Periodic instances. I can see like an immediate reaction. Boom. Fucking Marines go freak out and we're under attack and start fucking laying into the crowd.
Yeah.
But that's not what we saw.
No.
That's not what we heard. That's not what happened.
It seemed more control, more intent, you know, more intent behind the gunfire. Yeah.
It took over 5 minutes later that there was still multiple times. It'd be shoot, break, almost a dozen fucking times. That does not add up to somebody who's just freaking out. By the way, the rest of the video does include a doctor, excuse me, a doctor on there who examined the bodies, who is a doctor who was in Afghanistan like his entire fucking life, who's been around, you know, combat, who's seen combat casualties. He says, I know what a gunshot looks like, and I know what somebody who was killed by an explosion looks like. He says he saw multiple bodies who were killed by gunfire. These were not ball bearings; these were bullets. These people died.
I think he specifically says he was pulling bullets out of bodies, not just ball bearings.
And when he came out and started talking about that, he was threatened to shut up. He had to move. The only reason he was on this video, I'm gonna have to pull this up. I'm gonna have to find this fucking scene. Because the only reason he says he's even willing to come on and talk about this and show his face is because he moved to a safe country. I don't know, like Sweden or some shit. Which is crazy. So who was it that was threatening him and his family? Who was it that was threatening him to shut up, and why? The biggest question is why?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is him right here.
The Pentagon has insisted all injuries and deaths were from the bomb and its ball bearings, but CNN has wide-ranging evidence pointing to many Afghans being shot, 2 years ago, we heard 19 eyewitness accounts from Afghan survivors who saw people shot or were shot themselves, supported by 13 medical reports of bullet wounds. Afghan medical staff also told us dozens of dead from gunfire. Key was Saeed Ahmadi, head doctor at the Kabul hospital treating most of the wounded, whose team assessed the injuries of the dead as they lay out in the parking lot that night.
You still think back about that night, or sometimes?
Of course.
Back then, he was afraid to speak openly, but he now is safe with asylum in Finland and wanted to say on camera how he pulled bullets out of patients, how his team counted.
He actually pulled bullets out of patients. Yeah. He saw the bullets.
Over 50 dead from gunfire, and how his many years treating combat how his team counted over 50 dead from gunfire, and how his many years treating combat injuries meant he can diagnose a bullet wound.
Explosion injuries come with severe injuries, lots of hole in the bodies. But the people who were shot at, they had just 1 or 2 hole, exact in the chest or in the head. 170 people were killed totally, but the register what we had maybe 145.
And by your estimation, about half,
more than half, I think, were killed by gunshot.
Yet the night would get darker still. Ahmadi started getting phone calls in the local language Dari, threatening him and his staff to stop looking into who had been shot.
He told me, "What are you doing, doctor? And do you love your life? Do you love your families?"
That's freaking chilling, man.
Dude.
Good. When you're collecting that data, it would make danger situation for you. And you should stop that as soon as possible.
So,
dude. Who and why?
Yeah. Dude, this shit scares me, man. Like, do you believe this guy or not? Does he have a reason to lie? Well, you look at the fact that the Pentagon report already is filled with a lie, right? It's already proven to be untrue. Now, if they're lying about that, like, do you take their credibility still? And I hate to be like a total conspiracy theory, but man, like, I really wish you would watch or maybe you have, but anybody who's watching this, watch the testimony of Tyler Vargas. He was even on Sean Ryan's show not too long ago, but he gives a testimony in front of Congress, and he goes on the Sean Ryan show and talks about like his experience, and what he was on the gate at the time that this went down. And like, dude, you're like, you know how it is, man. Like, I would trust the dude on the ground, the dude that was there sharing the same, the same shitty lifestyle that we did when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, over some friggin' bureaucrat or some JAG officer doing the investigation. Like, I don't know, man. It's scary to think about, and it's disappointing that this stuff comes out, and it's like.
And then beyond that, it's a matter of, I mean, who would you trust? Of course, we would trust the guys on the ground, the guys that we've served with, the guys the kind of guys that we've served with who have been there, done that. Over these fucking reports. But beyond that, though, we actually have somebody calling and threatening this doctor, stop investigating the fact that people were shot by bullets instead of just hit with brass balls from a fucking explosion, and threatening. Do you like your life? Do you love your life? Do you love your family's life? Who and why are they doing this? Who is doing this and why?
Yeah.
What are they covering up? Why would they cover up the fact that there was a secondary assault? Again, it goes back to who would be so fucking stupid to abandon Bagram Air Base, leave all those fucking weapons behind, go to a highly unsecure fucking airfield, extract out of a gate that is the worst possible location you can do. Everyone said that they were set up for an assault like this, for something to go down. And then why would you so an explosion happens, 13 service members are killed. a secondary, we'll say allegedly, a secondary assaulting occurs with small arms or even bigger. Who knows? Maybe they had something like some sort of like something big, like a fucking 50 cal or something, killed fucking Afghan civilians. And then they want to cover that up. Why?
Yep.
What's the purpose? I mean, I see people like Clinton in here saying, yeah, it's 100% CIA. I know our fucking government, our CIA, our intel fucking people, they do weird shit, but I can't wrap my head around this. What is the fucking end goal of this?
I don't know. I think it was just a big fuck up from the administration. And
I can't see that. If there's a fuck up, why cover up all this fucking the small arms thing? Why threaten a doctor if it was just they were scared because it was a fuck up?
Just make it go away, man. Someone in the administration told the agencies to make it go away. Shut it down and make it go away. We're pulling out. Afghan is done. You know? Because look, it's 2 years later or almost 3 years later now. We're still talking about it. And that's bad for Biden. It's bad for the administration. It's bad for the agencies.
Yeah.
That we're still talking about it 3 years later.
You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I don't know. I mean, unless there's something more nefarious with the agencies and, you know, more conspiracy hat stuff. But I don't know. I don't know about any of that.
I have no problem breaking out that tinfoil hat every once in a while. I'll tell you, man, there have been times I'm like, do I just lean right into the full fucking Alex Jones thing or what?
It's more fun. It's more fun to go that way and scary. Sometimes.
Scary is a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, obviously on Rumble, you know, maybe we'll do like do like a tinfoil hat show and we'll
conspiracy show. Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe we can do it. Maybe
yeah,
like just do we'll start off over on YouTube and then just do the rest of it over on the Rumble side and just talk about whatever the fuck we want, dude. We got
I'd like that.
We got to do that. Our very first show was Vets Talking Tuesday. That was our very first stream ever before we created Skin Max Saturday. Just Vets Talking Tuesday. There was no real direction on what we were going to do. I just thought that VTT was a good acronym. Vets Talking Tuesday sounded like a good clicky name. It ended up overlapping with Tuesday Night Main Event from Geeks and Gamers, which was a big part of the audience that we were drawing from over there at the time.
Yeah.
So we just ended up canceling that. Maybe we can do like a Vets Talking Tuesday, Vets Talking Theories Tuesday or something. Or maybe Vets Talking Theories Thursday. Now we already have Knife Hands on Thursday. Fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe we can change Knife Hands to Vets Talking Theories Thursday.
Special events when we have something good to conspire about or talk about.
Conspiracy Theory Thursday. That has a good ring to it. That does have a good ring to it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that. Maybe we'll move maybe we'll move Knife Hands to another night. We can do a Conspiracy Theory Thursday. Let's see. Andy Pickle. What's up, Andy Pickle? Says Weird Al. Weird AI foil. What? I'm protected because I wear this hat of aluminum foil. Oh, is this a Weird Al song? Weird Al foil. I'm protected because I wear this hat of aluminum foil. Is that a song?
I don't know. Sounds like something Weird Al would do.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Blue Cordell popping in with the 20. Yeah, your voice is sounding dry. Have a drink. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Since Rob is here, let's shame Dermy.
Oh my! Oh. Very fat, I see. Congratulations, Mr. Sims. You are the fattest boy in camp.
All right, let's get it.
Get down!
You're the fattest boy in camp.
Appreciate you, buddy. Anybody who, if there's anybody new here, if you are new here, thank you very much for checking out Vets Talking. Also, we play our drinking games. That's why we're doing that. Anything $20 or more, we do shots. Everything else, we'll do a social at least. Which I'm gonna do by myself to wash down that whiskey. You know, man, damn times I tell people so much when somebody asks what I do. One, I say, "Oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber." I realize my full-time job now. It's kind of pathetic, it seems like, but I like what I do, and I appreciate everyone out there. But when I really describe how the show goes down, a lot of times I also say, "Yeah, I get paid to drink." And I've been blackout drunk X number of times. I have a degenerate group of fucking people in my audience, which I love every single one of you fucking degenerates. And shit, I forgot what my main point was. Fuck. It's hilarious. Every time I describe it to people, though, it's fucking funny as shit. Yeah, the fact that I just come on here, I talk with one of my buddies like Rob here, and then you degens out there fucking pay me to take shots and get fucked up. I appreciate the fuck out of it. I really, really do. Bubba hasn't seen that one yet. LOL. You haven't been paying close enough attention. You got to watch more. That law, guns don't kill people. The government does. This is true. I'm sure that's Dale. What's his last name? Gribble from. What the hell is that show?
No idea what you're talking about.
King of the Hill.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch that.
You never watched King of the Hill?
Nope. I know of it. I know Bobby and propane accessories. I just never watched it.
Yeah, I'll say it wasn't my favorite. You know, when it was on like I think it's what was the show? I think was it Saturday night, whatever the fuck. You know, when you had Simpsons, Futurama, you had King of the Hill. King of the Hill wasn't my favorite, but it was still worth a laugh. What's great is that it comes from Mike Judge, who Mike Judge made Beavis and Butthead, also made Idiocracy, and he's also appeared on Alex Jones. The guy is super fucking based, and he's into conspiracy theories and everything else. And he says that he made Dale Gribble, if I'm getting the name right, who's a conspiracy theorist on King of the Hill. He said he made that character based off of Alex Jones. Alex Jones inspired him to make that character. And they're looking at bringing that show back. I heard that. Well, at least that was a while ago. They're saying they may bring King of the Hill back. Andy Pickle says takes one to know one. I know we're all degenerates here, and I love you guys for it. Mike Judge also made Office Space. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You know, when I became an NCO, I had to learn to become, because I was that asshole fucking E4 who, you know, there's no accountability. I just, you know, I was E4 Mafia, so I'd fucking just chew out fucking privates and be a fucking dick. Because I had that happen to me, dude. When I was with Lurs, I'm sure it's probably the same thing in Ranger Battalion. I'll bet anything that the fucking E4 Mafia in Ranger Regiment was probably terrible to the fucking Cherry privates. So I had that happen.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty standard across the military, across the army, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you get to the other realms, like in fucking PSYOP and shit like that, E4s, yeah, they didn't do anything to the fucking prize. It's a totally fucking different story. When you're dealing in combat arms, that's the difference.
Yeah.
When you deal in combat. So it's the same thing, yeah, with the Lance Corporal over at the Marines, who is an E3. That's fucking weird as shit, though. But their rank structure just kind of shifts down a little. But yeah, I was a dickhead fucking E4. And then when I went into PSYOP, I got promoted to sergeant as soon as I got to my first unit. And I had to learn to change. I had to be more nice, I guess.
Someone pull you aside and like, listen, Sergeant, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I did to be a little more tactful was, yeah, hey, if you could get this done, that'd be great.
Yeah. This passive aggressive.
Somebody called me out that I sound just like that fucking boss from Office Space. And I didn't look like him, but I looked like the main character. I forget what his fucking name is. Like, dude, you look just like this guy, and you sound just like that guy. Yeah, so yes, more diplomatic. Yeah, me trying to be more diplomatic is like, yeah, if you could get that done, that'd be great. One in my head is, get your fucking ass in gear. I'll smoke the shit out of you. I was about to say gamer word, I think. Dude, E4 Mafia for life. That was a great time. I had the fucking sham shield.
The sham shield?
Yeah, your fucking E4 rank.
Oh yeah.
Come on, you didn't know that's called
No.
Well, again on where you're at. Lawrence, you gotta know about the sham shield, right?
What damn threat? I just logged in right now.
The sham shield.
The sham shield in the army.
E4. Do you know what that is?
E4? Yeah, it was an E4.
No, do you know what?
Oh, but
what
you
a
get
sham
the
shield?
reference. You get the reference when I say sham shield, don't you?
Yeah, it's the spot where you're not quite a private and you're not a sergeant, so you're not necessarily going to be watching over those knuckleheads. At the same time, you're in a position where you're not going to be the one made to do something. So
exactly, it's the beautiful zone in between. You have very little responsibility and very little accountability for what really goes down, because the NCO is still the one who's going to get shit if things get fucked up. But at the same time, you also get to fuck with the privates and make them do everything else that maybe you should. But like, best example I had was when we went to Iraq in 2003. I was a fucking specialist. I had actually already been to the promotion board too, so I was actually E4 promotable. And like, when we had shit like you had to burn the crappers and all that, I just fucking monitored from 20 feet away and said, fucking work faster, shit like that. Whatever the fuck. I didn't have to burn. I just had to watch, make sure the privates were burning it. Like, this is the life.
I don't miss that lifestyle. Burning shit in the middle of the desert when it's 100 degrees out.
Have to burn it.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully,
did you have to stir it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all took turns. Each crew had to take turns, and the only one that didn't have to do it was the tank commander. It was usually the E6, but everybody else.
You weren't gonna do that.
Everybody else had to. Just dump a bunch of freaking MoGas in there and light and stir until it's gone.
See, I know when I can't remember how many times I might have actually only had to do it like a couple of times. And like I said, I was like told, I was like, you know, they told me, hey, you go make sure that this gets done, and then I'll just snatch up a couple privates and like say, hey, motherfuckers, come on, go stir the shit, and then I have to monitor it. So I didn't have to do it very often. I think the reason was because I was in an MI unit. I was attached to an MI unit this time, but we were the fucking guys who was actually going out and doing fucking reconnaissance and patrols and shit. So we were on constant rotation to go outside the wire, and so it was the real pogues who had to continuously actually had to fucking burn the shit. So I only had to do it like maybe 2-3 times, and like I said, I was fortunate enough that I had the sham shield, so I didn't have to actually get my hands dirty.
Oh man, I was trying to find a picture of us actually burning shit, but it's gonna take a minute.
I'm gonna say what's up, Larry, here in a second, but I gotta tell the story that
You already did say what's up.
Well, I want to give a proper what's up. I don't think I've actually talked to you here on the channel here in a while, but I want to tell a story.
Saturday.
Here. Shut up and let me talk. Damn it.
I always shut the man down.
So I was at I don't want to give away too many details in case there's somebody here at the lake might know who I'm talking about. There's a dude who I heard telling a story at the gym. I was talking about, he claimed that, he said that he was like a Navy corpsman, I think. And he knew an officer who was smoking in the shitter and put his cigarette out in the shitter and blew himself up. And he's like looking at me like confirmation, like, because we had this, what was it? Like fucking like jet fuel was what he was saying was in the fucking can.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just MoGas. It was just JP8 or MoGas, whatever. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, is you don't put it in until you're going to burn it. What he's saying is that the gasoline was in the shitter while it was actively being used. I'm like, you're retarded. No, that doesn't happen. One, you don't use jet. He was claiming as jet fuel. Wait, what? JP8? That's JP8. What is that?
JP8 is unleaded gas with an additive.
Yeah, it's just concentrated gas, right? Well, because like Jet fuel. That's all fucking gases, anyways, right? It's just like higher octane shit, just whatever additives. Because so, like in the tanks take JP8, right? In the back of the tank is a jet engine. So if you want to call it jet fuel, I don't know. It's just JP8.
Whatever it was. All he was saying like it's some super, super, super dangerous fucking fuel, and I'm like, you don't use just pure fucking fuel. You use a mixture of that along diesel. That way it creates a fucking enough of a fire that's gonna burn, but it's not gonna blow you up. No, the entire thing, what he was saying was complete fucking bullshit, was what my point is.
Yeah.
He even went far enough to claim, because he was the company medic or whatever the fuck, that he had to write the Purple Heart Award for this guy.
Yeah, that sounds like bullshit.
No, you're not going to get a Purple Heart for blowing yourself up in the shitter. Purple Heart is specifically for injuries sustained by the enemy. Also, the medic doesn't write the fucking award, right, Rob, who was a medic?
Yeah, the medic won't write it.
Just because you get a Purple Heart doesn't mean the medic writes the award for the Purple Heart. No, it's the person who is the superior above that person. So if this is an officer, let's call it a fucking Navy lieutenant or whatever. It's the commander above that who's going to write the fucking award for that person. It was complete bullshit all the way up and down. I'm looking at this guy at the end like, I know you're fucking full of shit, dude. And I don't know why, of all things, you want to steal this kind of valor. Like, you want to talk about fucking somebody blowing himself up in a shitter, and you had to write a Purple Heart for somebody who did something so stupid, and you want to fucking lie about that, of all things?
Yeah. But you know what? I've seen people get those oak leaf clusters for sitting in the office watching TV at NTC during live training. I literally had to stand in formation, and because they were in a higher unit than ours, and the colonel was just giving these guys awards, and they were literally sitting in the office watching TV while we were outside doing road guard.
We had okay. This happens a lot, apparently. I was just upset about this on first combat tour that the 173rd, when we went to Iraq in 03, every single person who was first sergeant or above got a Bronze Star. It didn't matter what they did. Now, it's not Bronze Star for valor. Bronze Star can be just for, actions in a combat zone that are just, great or whatever. It doesn't mean you're in, actual like shooting combat, but every single first sergeant. So, I mean, I knew like the combat support company first sergeant who got a fucking Bronze Star. I'm like, motherfucker, you just drank coffee and smoked cigarettes the entire 9 months. And you got a fucking Bronze Star. Fuck you. But see, you need a fucking award to do this shit, though. Look at this.
Yeah, burning shit. That was my crew, my tank crew.
Yeah.
That's the rest, and that's our wingmen. Just burning like 4 or 5 barrels of shit. That was a great job.
Where were you at there?
That was in, I think that was in Ramadi or hit, I think. But,
yeah, I can't remember. Did you say you were at Blue Diamond or no?
No.
No, you were in Ramadi, but not at Blue Diamond.
Yeah.
Blue Diamond sucked.
Yeah. That whole country sucked, man.
The whole country sucks. But yeah, Blue Diamond is such a tiny little strip of a fucking base.
Yeah. So, you go the whole deployment, especially that first year, just with the bare minimums. There was one day we had to go take our squadron commander up to see the regimental commander. So we provided like an escort. While we were there, we got to, dismount and go into the location that it was. It was one of Saddam's palaces. And there was one of the units there that was guarding the palace that was part of the staff and the security forces got to enjoy living in Saddam's palace with the pool and the all the fancy food and all that stuff. And we were just like, these motherfuckers, man. I hate all of you so much. But we went back to our shithole. But
yeah, we were on a fob up in this place called Dibis, which is between Kirkuk and Erbil up in northern Iraq. And my God, I still can't. point to a fucking map. Like I mean, if you want to find it on Google Maps, I have looked it up. You got to zoom in way in before that fucking name ever pops up. Middle fucking nowhere, dude. I think I told the story how, like, yeah, back on like 4th of July, Kirkuk, they're getting fucking lobster tails and fucking steak and everything. And then for us, our dinner, the fucking T-Rats get shipped out to us, and we get fucking nothing. And that was our first night that we went out. I said, "Fuck this! I want to get fucked up." We went out to the fucking local cop shop. It was our rotation for patrol for that night. We went to the fucking called cop shops, the police station. We go whiskey. And this fucking dude just hops in the back of our fucking Humvee, just starts pointing directions and saying, "Click, click, 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 blah, 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 blah." And found a house that dude just selling fucking alcohol out of his fucking home, and we got fucked up that night.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of fucking July. Fuck you and your lobster tails. I'm getting fucking whiskey. Larry, have you deployed? I can't remember if you were combat.
Only to South Korea. I've been on the list for deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, and for some reason, when it came time to go, my name mysteriously got taken off the list. I have no idea why. I don't know who was doing it. Well, no, a lot of them. It might be. I don't know.
You should have been the first on the list. What am I saying?
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I don't know.
Hey, you know what it was? They met their DEI quota before they got to your name.
They probably did. They probably did. But that unit that I was in, and because of course I was active duty, but I was also in the reserves, and it was a reserve unit, and I kept noticing. I got in the habit of checking my personnel file because I would put stuff in it, and then I would go back the next month, and there were things missing, and I was like, okay, someone's taking stuff out of my file to make me look more deployable than I really actually am, And then next thing I knew, I was on the list for deployments, and then all of a sudden I was off. And this happened for about maybe the span of 5 years straight. Like every time we deployed, I was on the list. They had me going through the whole gambit, flying and doing the whole thing. And then when it was time to ship off, bam! Oh no, you're not going. Okay, then why'd you have me do all this other stuff?
Wow.
But one day I did get deployed, and then they kept me at the unit and had me there running the supply office. Now, this is where the sham shield broke down because it was the E6 that they left back, and the unit decided that they couldn't afford to have him there full time because the colonels and the majors that was there that was sucking up all the damn money, they didn't want to go back to work. They figured they could sit there and, just not really do much of anything. In fact, I found out one of them was a police commissioner.
Oh, shit.
And he didn't want to go back to work. He was getting, I remember seeing his LES one day. He was getting, like, every 90 days, he was getting 50 grand. He was a colonel.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He was a colonel. And so, of course, he was like, why go back to, why go back to my job? But I could sit here for a freaking year, twiddle on my thumbs, and just tell everybody else to work. And I just come in and just sit down all day. They were taking trips they were literally pulling Tiffany Henyards, going to Vegas and having meetings in Vegas. And we're like, what the hell are you going to Vegas for to have a freaking meeting? Well, we got 2 conference rooms in this building, So, but yeah, they kept me back for a year. So I'm not going to complain, I'm not going to complain, but yeah, I just, after a while, and there were some times that I really did want to go. I was like, look, I've been deployed, but it's not considered the same thing, going to South Korea versus going to Iraq or Afghanistan. In certain circles, even with the VA, in certain circles, it's not the same to them.
Okay, I'll say this, like in retrospect, I know like a lot of us were kind of dicks to people, like undeservedly, when people would say well, we did, we went to South Korea, so it's kind of like being in combat. Like, no, fuck you, motherfucker. I do get in retrospect that there's a lot of shit, especially if you're on the DMZ. Like the job that my first MOS surveillance operator, like when you go to South Korea. Like now looking back, like anyone who's been in 96 around me and went to South Korea, like they were on the DMZ all the fucking time. Their fucking their daily fucking duty was being on the equipment, monitoring the DMZ right there. And I mean, there's all kinds of stories where there'd be gunshots and everything else. Like people think that there's peace over there. No, there's actually shit going down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still not. It's still obviously very different.
Yeah, it's a different kind of thing, and
yeah,
because
there's a stress level, but actually being in real combat is very different. But I get it.
Well, the danger for us was, and I had to go to the DMV a few times. I had escort missions and things that I had to do. I had a North Korean soldier actually motion to me with his machete. He let me know that if he could cut my head off and get away with it right then and there, he would have done it.
Oh, I recognize you're the one who ran over the border to get away from the MPs, weren't you?
Yeah,
you
but see,
motherfucker.
The difference with the danger with us was it wasn't just the DMZ, because if you're not up there, I was stationed at Camp Humphreys, but the civilians would attack us too. I was actually stranded I was not stranded. I was stuck in a hotel room for 12 hours because they went on a mass protest and just started attacking all the soldiers. My roommate got attacked by he was on his way back to our barracks room, and he was out later than he should have been, and he got attacked. And then I had one of those Korean bar dancers. She had to take me to her house because basically I hit after hours, and that's when the attacks start coming up. So yeah, I mean, it's dangerous for us, but not from North Korea.
Wait, let's back up. You had a dancer take you to her house?
Yeah, she did.
I want to hear more about what happened.
I was excited until she took off her makeup.
Oh God!
and then
I've seen those TikTok videos.
Then I wanted to go to sleep. Then I made it a point to go to sleep to forget what I had just seen.
You mean to forget what you had just done?
No. I was sober.
Oh man, I've seen those TikTok videos. They got like a real pretty Asian woman, and she starts taking off all the stuff.
Yeah,
you're like, holy fuck!
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was possible.
She took off her makeup, and she gained like 20 years. I was just like, I mean, I didn't even recognize her. I couldn't believe I was looking at the same person. Her body was incredible, and she was like, hey, it's after hours. And then they saw the protest. They're like, hey, oh shoot, they're attacking the soldiers again. And she was like, no, you need to come with me. And I was like, yay. And we got back to her place, and she took off her makeup, and I was like, damn. Okay, well, I'm going to sleep.
Oh man.
No sucky tonight.
No. I lost a B off the BBC. I just completely deflated and went into retreat. So I was like, nah, I'm good.
The FBC, the flaccid black cock.
Yeah. Dropped a B and the F loaded right up.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it was a different kind of fight, man. It was just you had to watch yourself because the civilians, some of them were grateful that we were there, and then some of them weren't, and you just didn't know if you were going to catch a bat upside your head walking down the street. That's the kind of danger that we faced.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that. And it's definitely not being like stationed like fucking Italy or Germany. That's for damn sure. I was going to use Japan as an example too. Well, I'll bet they're actually really friendly over Japan. But yeah, Korea is fucked. And like I said, especially like I've always heard all the differences. Like if you're like Northern South Korea or Southern South Korea. I always want to say North Korea, South Korea, but obviously no one's in North Korea, just Northern South Korea. Right. But the difference is just night and fucking day, depending on which part of the country you're in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Italy was crazy too. Like there's like when you go through whatever the fucking the 2 weeks is, like the initiation where they teach you all about like the things you got to understand about the cultural differences and everything else. That they go through a threat briefing too. Like even in fucking Italy, well, Europe in general, they told us all the shit like that was going down largely because of the Cold War. There's assassination attempts on generals and kidnappings, all kinds of shit. So you were always on fucking guard. Like, being in Europe is not like being in America. Like you're walking around as American, especially if fucking regular Joe, you got that fucking high and tight on. Everyone knows who the fuck you are. You are a target. And like, yeah, what creeped me out Mostly more than anything. Like I remember when we got back from Iraq, I got there in 01. I left and got back from Iraq in 04. Immediately left to go to Bragg after that. Me and my guys, like we just got back from Iraq, and this random fucking Middle Eastern dude comes over to our table and starts talking to us and says, "Hey, I am from Iraq," and blah 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 blah. Like, where the fuck did you come from, and why are you talking to us? Like he creeped us the fuck out. Like he didn't even tell us like he wasn't a refugee or anything. Just randomly fucking shows up and starts talking to us like I'm from Iraq. Blah 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 blah. Get the fuck away from me, dude. We just got done seeing him. I want to fucking forget I even had to talk to you motherfuckers. And I'm back in Italy and I gotta see your fucking ass show up at my table. Get the fuck away, dude. I was angry and fucking creeped out. I don't know if he was like a. So this day, like I theorize again, tinfoil hat on, was like somebody trying to put a plant on us, like try to get information or try to test us even. I don't fucking know. It's weird. You got any weird stories, Rob, coming back from combat or anything like that? Obviously, we all got our combat stories, but like I like hearing weird stories though. Shit that's outside the fucking norm.
Weird. I can't say weird. I don't know. My post-deployment life continued for an additional 20 years. So
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I think after my final deployment was in 2016. That nothing like really weird happened other than I hit a brick wall with just health, mental health, physical health, because for the previous 20 something years, it was deployment training, and then all of a sudden, hey, pull up a chair. Here's your office for the last 4 years of your career. And I didn't know how to be like an office guy for a while until husband and a normal civilian or just like a normal person. So it took a while to get used to all that stuff, but nothing weird, I would think, comes to mind.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I get that. I totally get that.
I do have something funny for you.
I'd like to say something funny, yeah.
From the beginning of our conversation, volume is up.
Republicans in Manhattan, so many Trump supporters in Manhattan. Is that surprising? No, not at all. It's turning now. Trump's turn again. What's your message to Joe Biden? Fuck you.
Yes! Wait, wrong button. Fuck.
Yeah,
that's the one I saw, but I saw it censored on Newsmax. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, sometimes, man, New Yorkers just, I'm like, all right, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I just read about that. Oh, did you hear about? Oh, I don't know if you're done or not.
Yeah.
I came across this news article maybe about an hour ago. So apparently, news. Elizabeth Warren, our favorite Native American, is now coming out and demanding that Congress do its job and actually manage the Veteran Affairs system, because her office has been getting flooded with stories about CMP exams going wrong and soldiers, veterans being mistreated. And I've even been told some of these stories of vets being told to report, to a CMP exam. They get there and they're meeting somebody in a broom closet, that's not even a doctor. You guys know my story. I spent a year ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago, arguing with some lady that immediately let me know that she was there to make sure I didn't get squat, and outright told me, this ain't going to go the way you want it to.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, so after all this time of you guys getting flooded with all this stuff, now you want to say something. I was like, yeah, it's election season. All right. So she must be up for re-election.
Yeah. The whole CMP exam. So the first one I had, because I had to do it
What
twice.
does CMP stand for?
Your it's what does it stand for? It's when you get out. It's your
I assume M stands for medical.
CNP.
Oh, NP?
CNP. Yeah.
C and
Oh,
P.
C and P.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll look it up in a second.
I can spell it out for you. It's CUNT and PENIS exam.
Content penis. Okay. Not the big deal. Let's go.
Well,
Comprehensive medical
compensation and pension.
Compensation and pension. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
So the first time I had to do it, it was in the hospital, but it was in one of these small little rooms. It was not like a doctor's office. There was a PA in there, and she did the same thing. She's like, I know what you guys do when you come in here. I'm not going to allow you to do it. And she kind of like laid down the law. Like they tell you when you get in there to over exaggerate some of your issues.
Right.
And she was just very short or whatever. But I went through the process, and it took so long. When I was doing my paperwork, I ended up having to do it again. The second time I did it, they were getting flooded. The VA was getting flooded with departures, so I couldn't do it at the same place I did before. They sent me to a small town outside of Fort Benning area, and it was a mobile trailer. It was like one of those mobile trailers that they move and do like clinic checks. So I was sitting in a parking lot in a mobile trailer doing my CEP exam. It was so messed up, man. So I mean, if she's whatever her intentions are, that whole process is fucked. The CMP stuff, because they're not out to help you. They're out to make sure that
weed you out if you're bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And here's something that I didn't know. If you have a Nexus letter and you have provided it to VA already, they are not supposed to see. You don't have to go to a CMP exam. They intentionally kept that from me. So when I went to the exam, I didn't have to go because I had given them a Nexus letter when I filed my paperwork. And so what I did was I called the White House hotline and I reported that lady. So of course, they're using a lot of like VES and they use contractors.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I called and I told them what happened. The White House hotline, they say, hey, okay, I'm gonna I'm typing this down. I'm gonna message the person who has your case and let them know that you need to get another exam because this person obviously, she doesn't see any patients other than what the VA sends her through the company that she worked for. So her bread and butter was literally screwing over veterans, in favor of the VA. That's what she was there to do. She even talked crap about my doctor, saying that my doctor didn't know what she was talking about before she even opened up her doctor's notes. So she didn't even know what my doctor had said. It was already talking trash about her, and then told me, and then tried to make and belittle me for going to a doctor. It was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that. I was like, and this was in Ohio, and I was like, they must have a whole scam going on in this state because there's virtually no veteran representation over there, despite what the state will say. They really don't. They have the DAV over there, but they're based in Cleveland, really, and their volunteers in Columbus, where I was at, they're not certified, so they can't even look at my medical file. They can't even access it. So I was like, so what good are you?
Yeah.
Because the ones in Cleveland, you can't get them on the phone. Even the volunteers said, hey, yeah, our bosses up there in Cleveland, they're lazy as hell. We can't even get them on the phone. So I was like, the VA is probably aware of this. And so was, the VES, which was the third party medical group. And they just had a whole thing going on that, vets were just catching hell. One guy had to find a photo of him standing in Korea during the Korean War and standing literally in front of the sign of one of the bases he was at before the VA over there would even acknowledge that he was there. And they still try to fight him for his disability.
Yeah, it seems like that's their whole purpose, is to make sure that they limit as many as they can. Because once they started getting contractors involved in that process, like the CMP and like all your claims and stuff, like people unaffiliated with the military, people that never see military people at all of a sudden start getting this flood of veteran after veteran after veteran. Like, you want me to see, like, perfect example, I did a psych eval with a contractor in Augusta and from Fort Benning. That was like, I don't know, 2-hour drive or whatever I had to take to go talk to some random person. It's like, I don't fucking know you. I'm not going to talk to you. And they were being a dick. That it was a guy who's being a dick, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know you. This is the first time, and the last time I'm ever going to see you. Is I left, and I called the VA hotline, and I was like, this is stupid. I made a complaint there, but yeah, they definitely need to fix it. So if Elizabeth Warren is using this for her political gain, whatever, man, as long as it fixed the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you did say it and hit it around the head that she's doing for political gain. She's trying to gain points by saying she cares about veterans, which she doesn't. I have people. I've had this conversation with people so many damn times. So people say, "Why is the VA system so bad?" Well, it's because when we're in the military, they take good care of us, relatively good care of us, at least to keep us going, keep us motivated to want to fight, because we're useful. We're useful enough to spend money on. Once we get out, we're not useful. We're just an expense at that point.
Yep.
That's all we are. Sure. So, of course, they're going to put in minimal effort to take care of us. I'm definitely not making a fucking excuse for them. It's fucked up beyond all recollection. Yeah, see a Blue Cord and Lawrence there talking. Same state. That's cool. All right. Do we have anything anything positive to end on? Let's wrap this stream up. I don't know.
Well, that's why I tried to play the fuck Trump video, but then Larry had to bring us down. Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, Larry, for talking about the depressing, fucking the VA sucks thing. Let's let me show this here real quick though. With this this is the topic we're gonna talk about on we're gonna make this a main topic next week. So we've got all these protests popping up all over the place, but it's pro-Palestinian. Really, it's pro-Hamas, anti-Israel. They want Israel to actually die, and they're supporting a terrorist group. And magically, mysteriously, stuff like this is popping up. When turn this fucking sound off. All these supplies are popping up. Like the supply sergeant ferry just shows up and brings them all the water and pizzas and food and nums and everything to sustain
napkins, extension cords, water,
veggie chips.
snacks.
Of course, you need veggie chips. Good Lord, God forbid you. Which, by the way, veggie chips, nothing but fucking potato and starch with vegetable flavored fucking powder. There's nothing vegetable about it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, main topic for next week. I want to do it tonight, but I'm like, nah. We got to put a whole episode just on this. I'll give a hint. The Qatari government. Yeah, my hint is that that Qatar has actually been funding U.S. universities for many years, and to no surprise that these universities now are nothing but factories that pump out pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas. Qatar is one of the major founders of Hamas, at least funders, rather. And now all these protests are being magically organized, illustrated, told what to say, what to do, and being financially funded and supplied thusly like this right here. So
that's nuts, man.
And Qatar is the location of our headquarters that was running both campaigns in Afghanistan and Iraq. This is a fact. This is a fact. So it makes you wonder now. Makes you really have to ask, why is our government complicit and okay with Qatar being a major supplier, funder, founder, whatever all the terminologies. I've got the articles and the receipts to prove it of Hamas. And why is our government not squashing all these protests and all this anti-Israel, pro-Hamas shit that's been going on in our country? Yes, BLM 2.0.
Yep.
It makes you wonder, going back to the BLM protests, where did all those pallets of bricks come from? And all the other weapons they were using to destroy shit back in the summer of love of 2020.
Weren't they coming from organizations that was funded by an elderly gentleman whose last name starts with S?
And rhymes with Oros?
Yeah. I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
We are being infiltrated. Our country is infiltrated. Asymmetric warfare, if you don't know it, look it up. We are being used and battled through asymmetric warfare using our own fucking people. And we'll go into a big discussion on that next Thursday here on Knife Hands. All right, let's wrap this up, guys. Thank you very much. We are at exactly the 2-hour mark. Look at that. 2 hours and 26 seconds we're at. Thank you very much for being here. Larry, Laurence Knight. Let's wrap things up. I'm sorry. Too bad you couldn't be here the whole time. Maybe you should pop up on time.
Well, I do have a life. I do have things I have to do outside of
late in black.
It's all right. It's one stereotype I'll own.
I got throwing the racial shit anytime I can, dude. I don't have black people.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. It's Tropic Thunder, so you know. What do you mean, Big Rob?
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? It's one of the greatest movies ever made. I don't care what anybody says.
I'll give you guys a positive story on the way for the way out. So I used to live in California, and I was driving through Beverly Hills. I was on my way to my reserve unit, and I decided to take the street because the freeway was, of course, jam packed. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go to Santa Monica. I gotta drive through Beverly Hills, which bottlenecks severely. So I'm like, I don't want to do this. I pull up and I stop at the light. I see this Ferrari pull up, and there's a couple of white guys in there. And then I see this Mercedes pull up behind them. There's another couple of white guys, and you could tell that they were probably. It looked like they were together. And I was like, okay. Well, the guy in the Mercedes gets out and yells, "You MFing in!" And then the guy driving the Ferrari gets out. And he's like, "What in what?" And then they both start lifting their pants, and then all the other white guys get out of the car. In this, in that, you MFing in, and they start fighting on Beverly Hills Boulevard, yelling the N-word at each other.
What the fuck?
There's a bunch of white dudes doing this.
Yeah.
Sounds about right for California.
Yes. I've also seen Arabs do it. I saw Arabs do it in my undergrad on campus. Hey, you seen Abdul? Yeah, what's that N doing? Oh, you know how that N is, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's N, so blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, wow.
I remember a while, like I don't remember how many years ago, but they even put it on some fucking like cop show. I think that like black, like legit black Africans, like people who live in Africa, will call African Americans the hard R because they have no respect for American black people.
And the feeling's mutual, depending on who you talk to.
But is that true though? I mean,
Yes.
is there any real stories of that? Have you heard of anything like that?
Yes, and I've actually seen it on YouTube and other YouTubers. There's a YouTuber who he himself is from an African country, and there's an African guy that comes on there, and anytime that the host is talking trash about Black Americans and what Black Americans should be doing, and a lot of times he's correct. You know, the African guy comes in, he has no problem. But as soon as the host says something about Africans, he's right there blowing up, getting upset, picking fights with everybody. And so the host one day goes, "Look, you MF and spear chucker. Da, 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 da." I'm not gonna have you come on here and disrespect this country. He was like, "Well, I'm from Cameroon." He was like, "What?" He was like, "Why are you here?" He was like, "Well, I'm in school." He said, "Well, you're saying Cameroon is better than America, so why the hell aren't you in school in Cameroon?" He was like, "Answer that, spear chucker." And it was just, I mean, we're talking 4 hours of this guy getting into it with people.
No one's innocent, all right? In some way, one way, shape, or form, by the leftist definition, everyone is fucking racist in one way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Everything is racist. Everything is racist according to me.
That being said, also, my French instructor in the army was from Monsieur Ferdinand Tangambu. He was as African can fucking get. And dude, like, there's multiple fucking courses in the special warfare special warfare language training. Special warfare language training. Green Berets go through the same training that we do for SIAP. And you only had 12 people per class. There's multiple fucking French class, multiple fucking Spanish classes. And like every fucking class for French was either a French person or someone from like French Montreal, French Canadian. We're the only one who had a legit fucking African dude because they speak French in Cameroon. And he didn't give a fuck. He taught us everything. Like one time we had like a fucking this Paris old lady had to come in. She's like, I will not put up with any bad language or anything like that. And my dude Ferdinand is like, I will teach you how to say fuck and shit and all this stuff because you need to know this when you are out there because they may say this and they want to kill you. Like, fuck yeah, Ferdinand, what's up? He knows what's up.
Oh, man.
And ending things off right. Let's see. Venom Blade for 7 months says FJB. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. I gotta get that for a sound effect on the board. And right before that was Blue Cordell popping with I'm gonna assume our final $20. Much appreciated, bro. Says Texas and Florida are putting those protests down. That is right, dude. I fucking love those videos. You see all the shit from like New York and Columbia University and all this shit.
USC is going nuts right now. They just canceled the graduation at USC.
Yeah, USC.
Dude.
Yeah. They got overwhelmed with protests.
Can you imagine that shit, paying that much money and because of the stupid ass protest, like, oh, sorry, no graduation.
Oh, they can stop.
Fuck, I'd be pissed, man.
They can stop it. But they just
did you see some of the protesters at Columbia that got interviewed by reporters? You know, they were there, of course, protesting against Israel, and they said, "Why are you here protesting? What do you think it's about?" And you know what they said? Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, the girls said
here causing all these problems.
What they said that we're here to support Palestine. Yeah, but what has the university done? Oh, well, we're here to protest. I don't know. Hey, why are we protesting the university? I don't know. I'm not properly educated. Yeah, neither am I. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking. They're fucking dumb. They just know. Hey, she even said like I think wherever the school was, she didn't go to that school. I think she said like she was coming from Columbia or something, and she's like, hey, yeah, but then I was told and I heard that like there was a lot of stuff going on over here, so I came over here. She didn't even go to that school.
Yeah.
She just heard that people needed to protest over this, so just fucking followed the fucking herd and went over there. Yeah, thanks, Shadow Chase. Yeah, that's comedy gold. I mean, fucking hell, you can't fucking script this shit. All right. With our last shot of the night, again, I'm assuming. What's it? I love teabagging Dermy.
Poor Dermy.
Thank you, Blue Cord. Yeah, we had this conversation because Dermy has his own series of drinking videos. It's even one of me picking on me for being fat, which I am at this point. Put on a gut. I'm like, and he made a comment one night like about like all of my videos just picking on him. Like, Devil made me do it. Sounds funny. Devil did not make me do it. He made those videos without me giving him any instruction whatsoever. That was all him. The fact that every single one of my fucking videos are all ripping on Dermy is not my fault. Devil made me do it, had full artistic control over all of that. He did it, not me. Just saying.
And folks, that's what you call a on the spot disclaimer.
Damn right.
Yep.
All right, Larry, thanks for being here, buddy. I'm glad we can have an all-army stream.
Yeah, it was nice.
Go Army.
Yeah, stop getting those Marines on this show, man. It's annoying.
Fucking crayon eaters. Ranger Rob, thanks for being here, dude. What you got going on? Anything?
Always light. Nothing going on at the moment. I'll be here and Twitter. Living life, man.
This Friday, actually, before we take off, this Friday, you are weekly coming on here to do our Helldiver streams. We're playing Helldivers every Friday night. 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And this Friday, for those of you who are in the fellowship, we have Fear the Beardo is going to be playing with us this Friday, who actually texted us midstream and asked me if he wanted me to come on and play with him. I'm like, I'm literally doing my show right now, you fucking asshole. Don't go doing that. But yeah, Fear of the Beardo is awesome. He gets fucking tons of big numbers for his streams. I'm like, I might get 8 people watching. Dick. Come on, check it out though. Like, I don't know if you guys I know like this audience, you're not too big into like the idea of watching people play video games. Helldivers is fucking hella awesome, a lot of fucking fun, hilarious to watch. So check us out. You know, if it's not your thing, maybe just come check out on Friday, see what it's like, and I think you guys might get a kick out of it. Vala says, Fear the Beardo wasn't even a Marine, but eats crayons. That's right. Too true. All right, guys. Thank you.
Honorary Marine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. All right, guys, thank you very much. Everyone here on the panel. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Big Rob. Appreciate the fuck out of all you guys. Appreciate the fuck out of everyone out there who's been watching. Like I said, check out every single week, every single Friday, we're going to be doing Helldivers. At some point, we might expand into some other shows. And maybe we'll do a conspiracy theory show at some point. Man, that's something we got to talk about. Awesome. Also, keep in mind, some point later this year, we can do the meetup here at Lake of the Ozarks when we get Chrissy Mayer out here. We're going to do our FNT meetup. I've got locations set up where we're going to do Chrissy's show. We're going to have our own meetups. I got my boat. This is going to be ready to go. I'm going to take people out in the lake and go boat bar hopping around Lake of the Ozarks. Be a fucking blast. We still got to set up a place like a Discord or a Twitter, someplace where people can check in and say, yes, I'm going, get all the details, that kind of fun stuff. But keep that in mind. And also, of course, like I said, Friday, we got the game streams. Saturday, obviously, do not forget about Skinamax Saturday and every single Thursday here, Knife Hands. And I say that as I'm sure everyone's rolling their eyes and, yeah, okay, every single Thursday, as long as I can, okay? Don't get on my back about it. Or do. I might be more motivated to actually fucking start working harder if y'all just would bust my balls more often. That being said, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Blue Cord, and everyone else for the donations. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for all the comments. And double tap that like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Share this out there with everyone because you don't gotta be a veteran. Just don't get butthurt as always. You've been warned.